So are you going into prelims at the champion level thinking about different things than you did at the all-star level?
That's actually a very, very good question.
Hello and welcome to another zany episode of Nerdy West Coast Swing, the podcast with pixels where the anchors are out of this world and the points don't matter. We are here to help train your eyes so you can learn faster and dance better. I'm Cassie Winter.
I'm Alicia Marshall, and if you're wondering who are we to be having these pros on with us, Cassie and I both have extensive training and experience in both partnered and solo dancing. Cassie has about 24 years, and I have about 26. Tonight, we have a returning guest that we're excited to have back on. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. My name is Stanislav Ivanov. I'm a West Coast Swing dancer from Boston. I compete in champion level right now, turned champion back in April. And I'm excited to come back. It's been 6 months ago since we did our last podcast. Yeah. Last talk.
Yeah, it's
So
been a while.
excited to have
Lots
you
of
back.
changes. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about changes since we had a request to talk about your cha-cha with Susan from Liberty, I think 2019. So we'll touch on that a little bit, and then we'll talk about changes since then and go from there. So I think, do you want to drop in the chat the link?
Yeah. Link is in the chat. Go ahead and give it a watch. And when you're done, we'll get to you chatting. I still to this day want to know what Sarah said to Glenn because she like walks all the way across the floor, goes off screen. We don't see her again. Then she comes back.
I'm actually curious myself because I feel like I missed that moment when she was actually going to him and said something to him. So I'm curious myself. So I actually watched this video before just in case to refresh my memory because it's been so long since I did the dance. So I remember, but at the same time, I don't remember so much because it's been a little bit over 4 years ago. So yeah, it's nice to see it again.
It's a fun dance.
It was definitely a nice surprise. I didn't even know what's the challenge is gonna be because I remember the year before. I don't remember what I placed the year before in All-Star Jack and Jill. I believe I made top 5, but don't remember if I got 4th or 5th place. And Susan also danced again with I don't even remember who was that, but Rob Glover. That was Rob Glover. She danced with him, and I remember the challenge was. So I was actually expecting it's gonna be some different type of challenge.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was a great challenge for you, I guess.
Well, it was actually like tailor made, seriously.
Yeah.
And you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. It was really fun. So was that the first invitational that you had done, or had you done others?
I believe I've done 1 or 2 invitationals before that.
Okay.
Right. But they were like more like a smaller event, and I was on staff.
Okay.
But yeah, it was nothing really that big compared to Liberty Swing because Liberty Swing is a big event in New Jersey on the East Coast, probably one of the biggest ones. So the staff is stacked at this event. It's all the amazing dancers, all the champions. So it was definitely a privilege to dance among them. And honestly, I still remember that feeling because I was so nervous sitting there in the chair. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to be the challenge?
Yeah. That would be really nerve-wracking to have like one of your first like invitationals to be a challenge.
It started with me competing in All-Star Jack and Jill, and I was lucky to draw Alexis Garish. And Alexis Garish is an amazing dancer. I remember she was like maybe 19 or 20 back then, something like that. She was like so young. I mean, she's still young, but she was so young then. And I got lucky to draw her as my follower.
Yeah.
So our dance in All-Star was pretty easy. And I felt like we danced really, really well. We connected well together. And I thought we had a great dance when we actually finished our dance. And I remember when we were competing, it was not a spotlight. It's more like a 3 couples spotlights, 3 couples jam.
Gotcha.
Competing at the same time. So we were, I don't remember what heat we were, probably the first or second heat. And other 3 couples were dancing with us. So it was not a traditional spotlight. So but I thought we had a great dance, Alexis and I kind of had a feeling we're probably gonna do well in terms of placement. So I was pretty confident we're probably gonna be in top 3, but I wasn't sure we're gonna win.
Yeah.
But that's how you get into John Invitational, by winning All Star and Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
And the day before, I won All Star Strictly. So All Star Strictly the day before. Yeah, like when they announced my name, I was like, oh my god, like it's exciting, but yet, oh my god, like now I have to do the challenge. Now I have to like dance against all my coaches and all my mentors and idols. That's how I say it. Because when I started West Coast Swing, I remember watching Jordan, Tatiana, Benji, Schwimmer, like all the amazing dancers back then. Now I have to dance against them. It's kind of very, very stressful.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a whole different ballpark.
To the screen share. Did you know your challenge was going to be cha-cha, or did you just know it was ballroom?
Actually, so it was definitely luck of draw. I did not know it's going to be cha-cha, and I did not know that John would choose Susan for me. So I remember going towards the middle, maybe towards the end of the pack. So I overall already had an idea what kind of challenge they're going to give me, because I believe first was Hugo and Lorene, and they did samba. And I was like, okay, looks like we're going to do ballroom. And I was very comfortable with ballroom. And usually, John usually chooses all the, like I would say, like Tatiana Molman to dance, or Jordan to dance with the all-star finalists, like people who make it to John Invitational. But like it was actually surprised that he chose Susan. But what's interesting, because Susan is a ballroom dancer herself, and she also an amazing country dancer. Susan probably one of the most versatile dancer. Not only she's amazing West Coast Swing world champion, but she's also world champion in country dancing, and she's a national finalist in ballroom. But what's interesting, right? Because when I competed in ballroom, I did international Latin. And Susan did American Smooth. So it's a completely opposite.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you ever done ballroom, it's like comparing Lindy Hop and West Coast Swing.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're both swing dances, but they're completely different style. Yeah. So, and I knew Susan knew Latin before, right? International Latin. But when we got cha-cha, I was like, okay, once I heard this song, I was like, Kiss Me, Honey, Honey. Like, okay, I know this song. So it's kind of like, I actually had no plan in my mind, because it was just, I had no idea what I'm going to do. But it's so funny when the song started, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for spins. If you look at the beginning of the song, I was like, once I heard the song, okay, I might show off at my spins, because I'm pretty good with spins in general. So it's a ballroom dance. That's what we practice a lot. We practice a lot of spins. I decided to kind of get to do like 1-foot spin, something like that, and decided kind of to drop on my knee. Like eventually, I was like, make it so dramatic, arm styling. That's how we do it ballroom. And it's so funny, because it's been so long since I did ballroom. So for me, it was, I was a little bit rusty, not gonna lie, spin even on that arm style. So it definitely was a challenge, especially see that pointing that arm. It's kind of funny how it turned out. And I was like, wow, Susan, like she was grooving. She was like not wasting time. She was doing her part really, really well. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk around her in my mind, like, okay, I gotta do something like similar to West Coast Swing, kind of like walk around her, maybe do a couple basic steps in the beginning, right, underarm turn. And then I realized in the middle of the pattern that when I did underarm turn, I was like, I'm still dancing ballroom, not West Coast Swing. And then I have to quickly switch back from West Coast Swing to ballroom, start doing actual West Coast Swing in my cha-cha, because it's a habit already. You're so used to the West Coast Swing. God, oh my God. But anyway, it's interesting, because Kiss Me, Honey, Honey, and I did a fake kiss. It's so funny, because I remember Glenn Ball posted that video on TikTok. If you watch this dance, there's so many comments about this dance, and sometimes not in a positive way. They're saying like, "Oh, how come you kissing somebody else's wife?" Well, guess what? It's a fake kiss. It was a chick, and there is not a real kiss in her cheek, right? So I just want to clarify that part. But Glenn doesn't care. Like he's like such an easy going guy, and it was so much fun to actually goof around with Susan, and she played along so well. So
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
really did.
And I was like, I decided to do a knee spin. There's a segment, there's a part in our dance. I was like, okay, I gotta do knee spin because that's what we do in ballroom a lot,
Uh-huh.
right? Not as much in West Coast swing, but we do a lot in ballroom, especially in Paso Doble. It's like a Spanish gypsy dance. And I was like, it's so funny because I kind of wiped my forehead and I had the tissue in my pocket. You probably did not notice, but I threw the tissue away. So if you kind of run back, you would notice that once I dropped on my knee after the kiss, right? After
Uh-huh.
the kiss. So I dropped on my knee and I was like, took the tissue out to kind of tap, like she's on fire. She's doing so well. And I was like, okay, I'm getting sweaty. Well, you can add a little bit more acting to it, right?
Yeah.
And again, trying to play along and just make a fun performance. That's the part when I was like, she started doing grapevines around me, and I was giving her. See that here's the pull out the t-shirt from my back pocket. So there's somebody then I threw the tissue away. It's so hilarious. That I would
That's
not forget that moment. That was really, really fun part. And that
Yeah.
part, especially when I did the dip, and I was like, I did that fake kiss as well. And then Jordan was like covering his face, and then PJ, he can see the background standing up. So, and this group are so supportive. All these champions are really, really nice.
Yeah.
It was very nice of them. Like, especially Kyle sitting next to me, he's like encouraging me, and he said, "Hey, Stan, you got this. You got this. I
Mhm.
understand it's nerve-wracking, but I believe you can deliver a good show and
Yeah.
entertain people." And then we started doing crossover breaks in Cha-Cha, or sometimes people call it New Yorkers.
Mhm.
So this figure they call New York because apparently it was made in New York. I have no idea why it was made. The name of the figure is like that.
Yeah.
So, but Susan did so well, and then we did. So right here, see, we did like a traditional cha-cha pattern, the called New Yorker or crossover breaks, and she does Latin so well, so it was pretty easy. Syncopated timing right here.
Really nicely done.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you. And I was like, okay, I have no idea. Right here, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I was like, okay, let me group around. I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But yeah, like in my mind, like, okay, well, what else I can do? What else I can do? And then she started doing the same thing. And it's a callback, like in West Coast Swing, we call it callbacks. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm gonna do like more traditional patterns from Cha-Cha, like maybe the around the world, like this.
Yeah.
And I think that was the end of the dance. Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna
I love
flick
the way
it.
Jordan claps in particular.
And there's a bunch of followers on the background who actually have done ballroom. So I feel like they were familiar with what Susan and I were doing.
Yeah.
Like Bree Anderson did ballroom, I believe, when she was a teenager, even younger than that. I believe Lemery Rollins did ballroom
Hmm.
as well. It's so funny because I'm not sure who threw the shoe. I think it was PJ who threw the shoe.
It's PJ.
It's so funny. Yeah. So, and I believe the rest of, I believe Hugo Miguez did some ballroom in the past as well. So it was kind of nice to see people recognize ballroom patterns and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice that, you have so many people that are so diverse in their backgrounds that they really can like appreciate what you're putting out on the floor.
Yep, definitely. I think with ballroom background, it's a curse and blessing for West Coast swing
Yeah.
because there's so many things that you learn from ballroom you can incorporate in West Coast swing. There's so many things that you should not apply. It just doesn't go well
Yeah.
in terms of mechanics of movement, poise, posture, certain frame. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it was interesting.
Yeah.
But what's interesting? I remember when John picked Susan for me, I
Uh-huh.
feel like he already had an agenda that he knew I'm a ballroom dancer, right?
I
And
believe it.
he knows that Susan is like a national level
Yeah.
smooth dancer, American smooth. She's an excellent, and I feel like he probably had feelings that we're gonna put up a good show And it was kind of fun to see that. Like I didn't actually expect, for some reason, I thought it's gonna be Tatiana Molman.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was sitting in a chair and I was like, Tatiana Molman didn't get chosen yet, so maybe it could be her. But then it wasn't up Susan, right? And then that second dance when they got that traditional blues song, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, I knew this song, but I didn't know really that well. So I was more like in a mode that I will just dance the song and pay attention to what Susan is doing. But I'm glad that Susan played along with the lyrics of the song and everything else, and it kind of encouraged me to do better job. So especially that the illusion turns, I already knew the setup, but after that, I feel like she was more dominant follower in our partnership.
Yeah, she definitely added quite a bit of her own flair in the second part, which makes sense because I'm sure she wasn't quite as comfortable with the cha-cha. So
yeah, from what I remember, like Susan teaches both. I believe she teaches all four styles in ballroom and country and West Coast, of course. Yeah, so I would say she can definitely do pretty good Latin in general. I'm not sure if she ever competed in Latin or rhythm, American rhythm, international Latin, but she definitely done standard, international standard, and American smooth.
So is it hard at all to watch your West Coast swing from 4 years ago?
The only thing I was like, I'm like rolling my eyes, it's my haircut. I was like, oh my God. No, but honestly, no, actually, like, I'm weird a little bit, right? But I actually like watching myself, all my videos. It's so weird. I actually don't like feel like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Or I'm cringing. I actually enjoy watching myself. That's weird. But
that's healthy.
it is watch myself, I feel like I don't like trying to find the negative part in my dance, and I'm trying to find what's good and what could be better. So again, it's just the way you set yourself up when you watch your own videos. No, I have no problem watching myself. I actually rewatching the dance and I see if I can do better job, and I think I did as best as I could back then. But my haircut, oh my God, that haircut was so popular 6, 7, 8 years ago. They call it undercut. It became popular because of the movie Fury with Brad Pitt. If you ever watch this movie Fury, it's about World War II, American military, and there were there's like 6, 7 like a tank drivers people. Like I forgot what's it called in the army. They're tank drivers, and Brad Pitt was actually the main character. That's how haircut become popular. That undercut.
Interesting.
Yeah, but now it's completely out of style. So thank God. That harsh cut, so it's definitely. Honestly, right here when you were watching again, I was like in my mind, okay, I figured out the song we got, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a run. So it's kind of funny, like because I can know the song, but I don't know at the same time. I know how it sounds. It's like you can see the silhouette, but you cannot recognize who silhouette belong to. That's how I hear that song. I recognize the song, but I don't know the lyrics of the song.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's such a common thing, is that like you've heard these songs before, but like you haven't focused on them, so it's like you kind of know what you're doing, you kind of know what to do with it, but it's just like you can't quite hit all of the little pieces quite as much,
right? And especially English is my second language. What I usually do, I just Google all the lyrics of the song I dance to. So I just want to make sure that I know that, I'm listening, I'm hearing. So
yeah. That's great. So do you feel like your dancing has improved, or like was there anything that you've been working on since this period?
Well, definitely. I definitely feel my dance improved in terms of quality of movement, in terms of decision making as a leader, in terms of pattern, complex patterns, creating moments. definitely it improved, so in my opinion. But after this event, the next year, 2020, we have we had pandemic, so I didn't really dance much during that time. Uh,
Mhm.
so I had chance to kind of like recharge my batteries, get hungry again. So I took a break, like we call it healthy break, because
Yeah.
sometimes you need that healthy
Oh
break
yeah.
that you don't think about dance so much. So it helped me to kind of like reset my mind and like refocus again. And when I went back to my first event back in 2021 in Atlanta Swing Classic, I believe it was beginning of October. So it's been
Mhm.
like a year and a half. So I
Yeah.
didn't really dance intensively during pandemic, so I had time to kind of like rest. Yeah, but definitely I feel like my dance improved.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to like I didn't really dance as much. I didn't travel as much during since I started West Coast Swing because I felt like I was married back then. Me and my ex-wife, we had multiple other hobbies, and dancing was one our hobby that we didn't want to invest spending money traveling to the West Coast. So we didn't really travel much to the West Coast because we had other hobbies as well. But after pandemic, I kind of narrowed down my hobbies to just dancing. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty much all my strengths, all my energy
Yeah.
went into dancing. So I feel like I definitely improved.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like watching my videos from 2018, 19, even when I started West Coast Swing, when I turned All Star in 2016, I can definitely feel the difference compared to right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're now going to watch your like recent prelims dance with Torri. My question is a mindset one. So are you going into prelims at the champion level thinking about different things than you did at the all-star level?
That's actually a very, very good question. And some people ask me, how do you feel competing in champions right now compared to All Star? Um, it's definitely intimidating, not gonna lie. When I competed in All Star, my goal was just to have fun and enjoy myself because it was just my hobby. I didn't really think about to get hired a lot, to teach a lot of lessons, to turn this into my profession, right? Because I have a full-time job. Um, but at one point, once you reach 306 points in All Star and have 20 wins and multiple records set, you feel like I really want to challenge myself. And not like All Star doesn't challenge me, they definitely do challenge me. But Kyle Red, who actually came to me few times and he said, you should move up to champion level because you don't belong in All Star anymore. You definitely dance uh, more mature compared
Yeah.
to just in general. My
Yeah.
dancing is definitely improved since I
Mhm.
started in All Star, right? And I definitely feel the difference, right? So my last All Star competition was Easter Swing back in April, Easter Swing 2023 in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I drew my dance partner, Skylar Pritchard. It was very, very surprising draw, to be honest. I didn't expect it was going to be. And we had the most chillest dance. I felt
Yeah.
like we didn't even try hard.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because after dancing so many spotlights, you start learning through errors and trials. How can you make your dance better? How do you make your dance successful? Like that we both enjoy our dance. We feel we did our best. And
Mhm.
of course, it's nice to place in top five, but my mindset is not all about winning and getting top five. Yeah, of course, it's nice to place in top five, but I would like to just provide a nice dance and entertain the audience at the same time. And I tried many, many things, and I found out that just pure dance, concentrating on the music and on your follower, and not worry about the audience so much, is the best way to actually have a successful spotlight.
Yeah.
Because I tried so many different ways. I have personal experience. I remember getting tipsy before each final because I was nervous. And people say, oh, you probably don't get nervous. It's not true. You get nervous every single time when you compete in Spotlight because everybody's watching. Everybody
Yeah.
has expectation. You want to put up a show, and you don't deliver, and everybody get disappointed. I was like, what's wrong with him? Or what's wrong with her? There's something like that. It's a letdown. So yeah, it's extra stress on you. But like if I don't actually have drink at all, and you just stay sober, super alert, and just concentrate, laser focus on your partner, that's the best dance you can provide. So since Skylar and we ended up placing first in this dance, it was the most simplest dance I ever done. But because Skylar is such a great dancer, so I didn't have to even do much to have a great dance. She pretty much took over at this point. So after that, I decided to turn champions. I set a new record, few multiple records in the world, which I was very, very happy. And my first champion, Jack and Jill, was Jack and Jill Rama. So, and honestly, I was not really nervous so much. You still feel a little bit intimidated, okay, like all these veteran champion dancers look at their new rookie champion level dancer. I was like, he's still kind of not yet mature. I kind of want to test drive him. So I feel like I don't want to make a bad impression.
Yeah.
I start research ways to improve my dance. I start taking lessons more intensively. So kind of work on my dance because I want to have a next level of myself, like Stanislav 2.0. And you know what? It went really, really successful. I was in the middle of the pack. I ended up getting one yes from a judge, and I was very excited because usually, like all new champion dancers who got from All Star usually get all no's.
Yep.
Right? They usually get all no's because you just knew you still have to prove yourself. But I got one yes, and I was like, hey, the glass is half full. I'm very, very happy. I was in the middle of the pack. I didn't make final, but I was very happy. So Jack and Jill was my first competition. I felt good. I felt good about my dance. I rewatched my dance. I felt proud how I danced. I felt like I belong in this division, right? I feel like I was confident about myself. My second champion competition was Liberty Swing. And ended up dancing strictly with Melody Paletta from France. And we ended up getting alternate one in champion strictly. And I did not expect that because Melody Paletta, she's an amazing dancer. She still competes in all-star level. And I'm a new champion level dancer. I thought we're not going to do that well, but we got alternate one. So we were very, very close to the final. I was very, very happy. Yeah, again, I take it. And I was very happy how we danced. Jack and Jill was very competitive. There's a bunch of champions who should be in the final, did not make final. But you know what? Final is very tight. It was a very stacked division at Liberty Swing.
Oh yeah.
The third champion competition was Wild Wild Westy, and I ended up getting alternate two. And that was a very, very exciting. I was so happy to get alternate two again. It was my third competition, and I didn't expect I'm gonna get alternate two. So I was very happy. Listen, it doesn't matter if you make final right now. I'm probably not gonna make final for a while, but close to that final, it matters. Yeah. And my fourth competition was, what was my fourth competition? Oh, Swing Time in Denver. And Swing Time in the Denver again. I didn't make final, but I was fine with that. I was in the middle of the pack in my preliminary rounds, which is good. And my last competition was actually Desert City Swing, and I ended up getting my first Jack and Jill alternate one. So that was my so far best record, and I feel like that was my best dances overall in champion Jack and Jill. I feel like definitely dancing in champion level, it make my brain extremely alert. It's very, very hard to explain. So when I dance in champion, in all-star Jack and Jill, I'm usually very relaxed. Not like, I'm confident I'm going to make final, but I was more like chill, more relaxed when in champion Jack and Jill, because I want to look good among these amazing dancers. And I have to do my best as much as I can. So when I dance, I'm just trying to stay alert as much as I can. It's so hard to explain because it's a new division. And I'm dancing against all my peers and all the idols I grew up watching. It's definitely intimidating. But yes, I got amazing, amazing followers. My first follower in Desert City Swing, Emmeline from France.
Nice.
I never actually danced with her. It was our true Jack and Jill, and it was definitely magical. She's such an amazing dancer. Her contemporary style is just so unique and fresh. It's not your typical swing dancer. I feel like she's such a modern. You cannot call her a West Coast swing dancer. You have to call her more like a contemporary swing or modern swing dancer. So she's very unique. My second dance was Samantha Buckwalter. I never actually danced with her, but she's a dual threat. She's an amazing leader and, of course, amazing follower. So dancing with her was also a true Jack and Jill. And my third dance was Torri Smith. Well, when I started, I remember watching Torri, and I was like, wow, she is a pure swing dancer. And we got that one of my favorite songs by Devon Cole, Witch. And I danced to that song before, and I feel like I know how this song goes. And I got lucky to draw her because she's so quick, swift, and reactive. So this song just fits her style perfectly.
Yeah, actually, it really does. Like personality wise, like it was such a fun expression moment for her. I feel like she had quite a few fun moments where she kind of took her own time to do something, and you did a great job of letting her do her thing.
Thank you.
Shall I drop the video in the chat?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give it a watch. When you're done, we will get to chatting. I just realized you got that whole song. Like it went through the whole thing.
You know what? So the song is like about 2 minutes-ish, right? Something that I expect they're gonna play the whole song because usually they play about 1 minute 45 seconds, but they end up playing entire song. That was my last dance. I was in hit 1, and hit 1 was very stacked. We had like literally all the major champs. Benji was there, Jordan was there. Oh, maybe Jordan was the second hit. But Marcus Smith, I think, was there. So so it was pretty competitive hit 1. And it's actually nice of them to split the hits because we had more leaders than the followers, and we have plenty of room to dance. I wish they gave us 4th song because I feel like just to put up a show and kind of for audience to enjoy the highest division, champion division. I think they should have give us four songs in general. I know that sometimes it depends on the time and if they have extra like minute 45 seconds, but I think they should give four songs for everybody. And judges have a little bit more time to look at certain dancers and kind of maybe they change their mind eventually. But it was my first time actually dancing with Torri. So in Champion Jack and Jill. So that was actually very exciting. I think I danced with her maybe once or twice socially a while ago, but my first time drawing her in competition. And what's crazy about, right, like we were dancing right in front of the audience. And it was really nice to see and hear people cheering for us and kind of like reacting. In my mind, like once I hear the song, I was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So in my mind, I was like already hyped, right? And I feel like just watching myself right now versus watching myself back at Liberty Swing 4 years ago, you can see that the improvement in my dance in a good way, because I literally have chance to comparing myself from 4 years ago and right now. And I'm like, I'm actually pretty happy how the improvement in my dance. So I'm very happy how it looks. I personally very dynamic dancer myself, so always trying to create dynamic, active dance, create opportunities. I'm pretty high energy dancer. Um, Trying to be like swift in general, athletic in my style, because you definitely want to look like fresh. I don't know. It's like it's maybe coming from my background because it's a ballroom dancer when I did Latin. My main strength was speed and quickness of my feet, or just in general. I feel like it kind of transitions into my West Coast swing as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The great thing about Torri that she's a great follower. And if you look at my dance, she never actually sabotaged any my lead. She only enhances the ideas I have. So which is kind of crazy. It was very, very easy to dance with her because her speed, her quickness, and how light she is makes the dance even more dynamic. Which, like, and again, she's very musical, but she never interfere my lead, which is great. And it's so funny because there's a moment in a dance when she starts slowing me down, and she starts walking slowly towards the person who is recording us. Shout out to Fernanda Dubiel. She was actually recording me. And it's so funny because Tori started walking towards her and she's kind of playful, being flirty. And I was like, okay, I kind of figured like what she's trying to do. And I'm trying to also in the background, if you rewind back, you can see me also trying to kind of like,
trying to do something with your hair too.
yeah, and it was kind of funny moment. And that like micro musicality Tori has, especially in her body action and her footwork, because she's well known for being quick and very athletic dancer, right? And yet she's very graceful and elegant because her husband Maxime, every time when I watch them dance, it's like pure magic on the floor. I'm always very impressed how well they dance together. It's just pure chemistry. And I felt like that Tori and I had such a good connected dance that it kind of looked like we had a chemistry as well on the floor. Yeah. And then
yeah. This is like a really fun like dance between you two. Super playful. Like I feel like you guys are a good match.
I definitely feel like she's definitely my type of a follower that I would get along well, and in terms of our energy matches really, really well.
Yeah.
So right in the beginning of the dance, if you see me, I once I hear the song, I was like, okay, I know this song. I kind of start mapping this song in my head to make the dance kind of like, okay, I know like I'm gonna do under a pass, gonna keep it simple, keep it playful, gonna give her time to calibrate to my connection. And again, there's no need for calibration because I felt like our connection was so smooth and easy that we don't even need to kind of like adjust to each other.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you both have such lovely technique that makes sense. You would just like not really have to work too hard to figure each other out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because what's interesting, I noticed dancing with all the veteran level champion followers, they make you look good. So every time I dance with Tatiana, Torri, or for example, Lisa, or even Nicole, right? Ramirez, they all have different styles, right? But dancing with them, they lift you up in a way that you look and feel better than you are. It's kind of weird to explain, but that's how it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like they actually make it look better because every time when I watch all my videos from Champion Jack and Jill, I was like, wow, I actually look good. But not that I look good because they make me look good. I don't like that.
I mean, like the top follows are so good at adding things in at appropriate moments that it just really adds a lot to the dance. And so it just makes both of you just look, it elevates both of you.
Yes, definitely. that moment was kind of funny because if you remember the lyrics of the song which is so smart how they
Yeah.
actually made like which woman in total control of herself. I think the lyrics are so brilliant and really funny, so it kind of make the song kind of even elevate. And when I was like start doing certain things, and I was like Tori pushed off against me because she's a woman in total control of herself, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give her kind of like room to shine. That
Yep.
moment, like I kind of pressed, and I knew she's gonna push off against me, and which she did. And it's kind of funny that she turned around so effortless. I was like, wow, that's really amazing. And I kind of started like goofing around a little bit, maybe too much, kind of brushing off from my chest. Oh, kind of like not really a good decision for me, but that was kind of funny. And there is a moments like if you continue watching, right, and when I kind of present her in a
Mhm.
spotlight pose, that woman in total control of herself because look, check it out. She's totally in control what she's doing. So
Mhm.
that the part when I started walking around her, I was just trying to show that musicality in a song. And that hit when I did ta ta actually didn't happen in the song. And I kind of assumed there's going to be a hit ta ta when I
Uh-huh.
kind of a little bit right here. But I don't think it happened in the song, but better to hit than not to hit at all.
Oh
So
yeah.
I just did it just in case.
As long as it's timing wise, all
Mhm.
good. Then what
Yeah,
does it matter? Just adding a little extra in.
a little bit extra. Yeah, exactly. And it was easy. And that phrase changed, and I was like, that split she dropped. I did not expect she's gonna do that. But again, it was pretty easy to to support her because pretty much 50% she does it herself. Like when she goes into split and all, and actually people messaged me. There is a woman messaged me that she said, quick question, do you pull Tori up on that split or she does it herself? And I
Mhm.
said, well, technically it was 50-50 because Tori actually pulled herself up and I helped her out a little bit.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, she has a lot of momentum going down, but you kind of soften it and pull it back up.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, she definitely caught me by surprise. But again, she's so agile and so athletic. For
oh
her,
yeah.
it's like easy peasy. Yeah. And there's a moment when if you keep watching the dance, where is it? Okay, this part was like a little hop, a little bit grooving here. I said hop for the right, and that moment, like I was trying to keep turning her, and I can see she was trying to be musical, and I feel like
Yeah.
I need to fear her just a little bit right here when she's trying to show a little bit of footwork, but it went so smoothly that you don't actually notice.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. In my mind, okay, I'm gonna use that momentum. I'm gonna keep turning her right here, keep ducking her, because again, she's so swift on her feet and quick. So, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use momentum. But then she was trying to be musical. She was trying to hit certain part in the song.
Hmm.
So it was pretty easy.
Is there anything you would do different with this part?
Honestly, I would probably not turn her extra right here. See that moment, awkward handhold.
Yeah.
But I think like the beauty of it, even people make mistakes. It's all about recovery and
Hmm.
able to pretend it's supposed to be like that, and nobody will notice unless I point
Yeah.
what happened. Like I'm
Yep.
right now at what happened, but a lot of people would not even notice. Oh, that's what he was trying to do. Oh, that's what Tori is trying to do.
Hmm.
So yeah. So and again, yeah, I'm trying to maintain that energy flow, dynamic movement, trying to make the dance energetic. And again, it's so easy with Story because I feel like we just good match for each other. I hope she thinks the same way. Personally, she's my dance crush, like I mentioned before, and my post. Um, yeah,
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Mhm.
I mean, she's definitely everybody's dance crush. Yeah. And then that's the moment when she started walking sassy towards the camera, and I was like, at first I didn't expect. Oh, where's she going? Where's she going with that? I realized oh, she's traveling towards Fernanda. And I was like if you look at me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play along, gonna do sassy, brush my hair, and then she gonna swing her hips towards the camera, and I'm pointing. Oh, that was you who is recording. because I actually asked a couple of people to record me from a different angle. Yeah, one in like horizontal and one in vertical, one for like Instagram, the other one for YouTube. Unfortunately, the one horizontal was a little bit too far, so that was probably the best option. Maybe not the best option for YouTube, but the best video I can find. And I kind of laughed because right here, when she did it, it's like she pushed off of me, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting how she did it. If you rewind the video slightly back, after that sassy walk when she was traveling, I was like, oh, that's what she's doing. And I'm pointing, and I'm getting a little bit distracted, and I forgot to lead. And then she's pushing off. See, I was too distracted looking at the camera that completely forgot I gotta lead something, And right here, I kind of let her, but she kind of turned herself a little bit.
Yeah.
But then right here, she pushed off against me. So off, and I was like, oh my God, that was so cool. Whatever she did, I didn't expect she's gonna do that.
Yeah.
That was the moment, like, that's why I see my reaction. I was like, that was so cool. See, that's why champion level dancers make you dance better. Even if you make a mistake, guess what? They will cover your mistake and make you look like it's supposed to be like that. See, that's the beauty of it. And I was like, oh, woman, total control of herself. That's what I'm presenting Torri.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what she's doing. So that was the moment set woman in total control of herself, and I kind of trying to present her towards the audience. I was like, hey, check it out. Like, look what she's doing. And she look at her. She's not even wasting time. She's like, yep, I'm the queen. That's what I'm doing. So that was pretty easy again to dance with her, and they make you look good. They play along well. They cooperate. And right here, my decision to the grapevine probably not the best. And I feel like she was trying to skip. And that's where we clashed a little bit with our ideas. Yeah. So I feel like she was trying to skip. And guess what? Her idea was better than mine. I don't know what I was thinking about, because I thought there's a part that grapevine will fit better in a song, but unfortunately it was not. So her skip version was better. See, she started skipping slightly. And then right here, she kind of let go my hand. And I was like, okay, maybe it was not a good idea. Let me reset myself. And I quickly reacted and adapted to whatever she's trying to do. So did a little bit body ripple to kind of reconnect with her. But yeah, I think that's what definitely differentiate all-star level dancer, champion dancer. So you see, we can adapt so quickly that it doesn't even look like a mistake. But let's say, because I'm dissecting the dance, right? And what I was thinking in the moment.
Yeah. I think that's something that like it really separates the best follows, is that they really can react and take something that was maybe not the best idea and make it into something that was fun and looks like that's what was meant to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's all about, I don't know, it takes two. It definitely takes two to tango. So 1-footed spin right here was great. And she actually let go my hand. And what's crazy about, she had so much momentum that she easily led on her own. So it was not a problem at all. So you see, when I set up 1-footed spin, because there's a phrase change coming, and I was like, okay, so that's a good time to set up 1-footed spin. And the way she does 1-footed spin, you see, she places her left hand on her hip. Yeah, it just shows that she doesn't even need to prep her left hand in front of her body, in front of her sternum, to make that 1-footed spin so like easy and controlled, right? A lot of all-star level followers, right, they place their hand in front of their chest to make sure the balance is there. But with Torri, she doesn't even need that, because she's so amazing at what she does, and her balance is great.
Yeah. She also kind of compensates and does she makes sure that she has the stretch across the chest, regardless of if she's using the arm or not.
Yes. And
which
her
is
and her access point is on point, and So when I was trying to spin her, right, that moment, right, I had so much, I generated so much power for her. Maybe I did too much for her. Maybe that's why she let go of her hand. But like even after that let go, see, you will notice right now how she landed so smoothly.
Mhm.
Like it's something that personally I did not expect, because usually if I dance with an all-star follower, nobody will let go of their hand. They usually hold pretty tight, right? So not to lose balance. But
Yeah.
with Torri, it was just like, it's like, hey, I got myself. You don't need to
Mhm.
hold me, I can lend myself. So it was
Yeah.
not a problem at all.
Does did this particular 1 foot feel more relaxed than with other like higher level follows that you lead through that?
Honestly, all the followers in champion level at this point, amazing, amazing dancers. So like
Yeah.
nobody does a bad spin. Only if I set up incorrectly and I literally mess up the access point, nobody usually have a problem. So
Right.
yeah, it was, and I was doing 140 spin pretty much with everybody, and yeah, they're all amazing, no
Mhm.
problem at all.
Yeah, I just want to point out separately because we're talking about it. So Tori, when she's going into this 1 foot, her foot is mostly grazing the ground,
Mhm.
and it's showing that she's rather relaxed in her body positioning. She's not like really trying to shape something really aggressively.
Mhm.
So which is why I was asking if she felt more relaxed than other,
Yeah,
like
definitely. Yeah, she definitely feels relaxed. Like when we talk about shaping. So, for example, I danced strictly with Larissa Tajani,
Mhm,
Frisbee, Jordan Frisbee's wife, in a champion strictly.
mhm.
Um, so we got alternate two in champion strictly, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, but like for example, Larissa, not Larissa, Larissa, she does, because she is Brazilian. You have to pronounce this slightly differently.
Yeah.
Uh, so she does a lot of zouk type of spins. When she does like 140 spins, she shapes a lot,
Yeah.
and uh she lowers herself, goes down. So it's slightly different style compared to like what I did with Story. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it felt definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. So when I danced with Larissa, because Larissa, like I danced multiple times, I drew her before in All Star Jack and Jill, and I feel like we had the video. Do you remember video? How do you call it? Critique or something like that. So the way she does shaping, it's a lot from Zouk. So I definitely feel different leading Tori versus Larissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tori does traditional one-footed spin when Larissa trying to shape, because she does a lot of Zouk. So it requires me to propel more
Mhm.
Larissa than Tori
Yeah.
because of the shaping.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like kind of a dragging feeling versus like you're trying to move something that is like almost stationary.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, that's
I think we got through the questions that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, was there
Um,
anything you wanted us to ask you that we didn't?
yeah.
no, I don't think so.
So again, where are you going to be next? What's your lineup?
Next. So I have a break right now. So I have to work, and then I'll be at Atlanta Swing Classic end of this month. So Skylar, Pritchard, and we are on staff. We're gonna teach workshops together, and we're gonna compete together in Strictly. Um, and then we have Boogie by the Bay. I will be at Boogie by the Bay, and after that, probably Halloween Swing thing. I'm still trying to figure it out, my schedule, Halloween swing thing, and then after that, um, probably the US Open. So we'll see. Yeah, but I have pretty intense schedule for the until end of this year, even with work and with other stuff as well.
Mhm. And if people want to follow you or reach out to you for lessons, what's the best way to do that?
So people can reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram or my YouTube account. Well, not really YouTube, but if they would like to subscribe to my YouTube account, I have my YouTube account, and I'm on Instagram as well. People can reach out via Instagram or Facebook.
I think we've gotten through everything.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And again, you are a wonderful host, and it's been a pleasure. And I'm really, really honored that you invited me again second time. And definitely, I'll be happy to come back again, maybe eventually. Maybe not anytime soon, but maybe sometime next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was great. Thank you so much for joining us. And I think that's everything for today. So we will see you all next time.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thank you again for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate your time.